Hello and welcome back, everyone. This is Billy coming at you live from Aktobe, Kazakhstan. And I would like to talk to you a little bit today about um, harboring your interest in becoming a foreign teacher in a foreign country. And so you've been looking around websites and things like that, or you've heard a lot of things about becoming a foreign teacher, or maybe you haven't, and this might actually be your first time hearing about this kind of thing. But if you have been looking for things, then I hope that I can help to pique your interest a little bit because I want to answer the question that a lot of you may have in mind before I start talking about things like what do you need to do to become a teacher and things like that. So let's keep it at the very basic level, at the interest level for the purposes of this video. And so the one of the most common questions that anybody would have if they're thinking about doing this is, what is it like teaching abroad? Well, I hope to answer that in my rambling today. And so um, I want to begin by saying, of course, it is absolutely nothing like your home country. And of course, you may think, well, duh, of course not. It's a foreign country. But a lot of people take the idea for granted because they come to a foreign country and they get the culture shock and they prepare as much as they can before they come here, but it still hits them. And so that's why I say, well, remember it's a foreign country. And as soon as the excitement and the honeymoon period of these places starts to die off, then you start to fall into a lot of the cultural shock things where a lot of people start to complain and a lot of people start looking for reasons to make themselves look better to their foreign coworkers who don't even care and things like that. So an overall very general broad way to answer the question is it's amazing. Working abroad has opened my eyes, and a lot of the foreign teachers that I work with have also had their eyes just completely open, some positive, some negative. But I've had a great experience with this because I have basically put myself into the world that I prepared myself at university. I studied anthropology, I studied history, and it landed me my very first job. But I'll talk about that when I'm talking in my about my Korean experiences. And um, so yeah, it's an absolute blast. It's amazing getting a chance to go out and interact with these foreign people and and looking at your home country from the outside brings a whole new perspective as well. And you also get a chance to not only travel in these places, but you get a chance to, of course, live in these places for a lot of countries that offer a year-long contract. And so I don't know about you, but if I had the chance to live in a foreign country for a year or to travel in that foreign country for 2 or 3 days, I would much rather live there for a year because for me it just sounds better. So um, there's always good things and bad things about teaching abroad. Of course, you're away from your family, but through the power of the internet and international calling and things like that, it brings everyone very closer together. I'm always Skyping with my wife and things like that, and so even though I've been here by myself in Kazakhstan, I've been able to connect with my family and things like that. So um, I can also say that it opens your eyes to a completely new side of yourself. And so if having been in a relatively isolated environment your whole life, you come to a new place and a lot of the people in these places have no problem telling you exactly how you are. If you're overweight, they'll tell you, but don't take that to be a bad thing. But sometimes they're just being nice, and that's part of the culture shock video that's I'll talk about later. But um, so the way that you're going to look at yourself after you have come back to your home country is going to show you personally what it's like teaching abroad. And so personally, I can't really give much um, facts and all of that stuff, but just my own opinions. So the whole teaching aspects. Okay, so what is it like to teach in a foreign classroom? Well, you have to deal with language barriers, obviously, and most of the time you'll be working with some kind of partner teacher, depending on the country that you're working in. They usually do some kind of English side and the local language side. And so you'll have to deal with that. And of course, you'll have to deal with other country bureaucracies and things like that. But you'll also have the pleasure to deal with these wonderful children that are very eager to learn, assuming that you're not in a classroom that is overly excited, because a lot of children will not listen to the foreign teacher, mainly because English might make them nervous, or because they just don't understand and they just don't care and they act out. So there are plenty of things that you can do, and we'll talk about that in later videos as well. But as for all sakes and purposes of this, I would say that if you're seriously thinking about doing something like this, I would highly, highly suggest that you do it, because it will open you up to so many different ideas, so many different pastimes, so many different new customs and new ways of being. I've seen a lot of people that have adopted a lot of the local cultures. For example, here in Kazakhstan, they wear their wedding rings on their right hand, and I've seen a lot of married men here that have put their wedding rings on their right hand. And so, just a small thing like that happens every once in a while, and a couple of other cultural traditions and things like that. I've seen a lot of foreigners adopting and and letting it become a part of them. And so you become this mixture of all these places to visit, and which leads me to the kind of person you can become. Of course, you can learn a new language. You can live your life a totally different way. You can reinvent yourself. You can become a totally different person that could could potentially be something so much greater than anything else that you might have experienced. And so I would highly, highly, highly suggest that you take some time into consideration and become a foreign teacher in a foreign land. And so how do you do that? What are the things that you need to do? What are the things that you need to set up? And where can I find jobs and things like that? That's what I'm going to talk about in the next video. And so I hope that you join me for the next one. I hope this one was also very helpful for you. And if you are thinking about it, I hope that I was able to give you a little bit further insight, and I hope that made you just as excited about this whole thing as I am. And so, um, thank you very much, and good luck to you. Bye.